Welcome back, 5th graders. We are going to go over Mission 6, Lesson 8 today together. I'm going to talk to you about how we look at a rule for an X and Y coordinate pair in order to determine what one of our coordinate pairs number is. So for our first question, it says Rule Y. The rule is that y is 2 more than x. So for this first one, if x is 0, 2 more than 0 is 2. Here, x is 3.5, so we add 2 to that. 3, 4, 5. We get 5.5. The 0.5 doesn't change here. We're simply adding 2 wholes to our whole number here. The decimal will stay the same. And then our last one, add 2 to 10, we get 12. So that rule is pretty simple. They do get a little bit more complex, but you have to start simple and build on that skill into something more complex. All right, so here we're just copying our coordinate pairs now that we have them figured out. No, that's not what I wanted. I'll go here, 3.5 here, 5.5 there. Here we have 10, and then our last one is 12. So when we write them as coordinate pairs, it's x comma y. So 0 comma 2, 3.5 comma 5.5. Here we have 10 comma 12. Our x coordinate is always written first, y coordinate always follows. Okay, so now we're looking at the same idea, but our rule is different. So y is 3 more than 2 times as much as x. Well, so now we have to start by multiplying our x coordinate by 2. So 0 times 2 is 0. And then we add 3 because it's 3 more than whatever that 2 times 2 number is. So for this, we're simply going to end up with 3. So our coordinate pair is 0, comma 3. Here we have 1 times 2, which is 2, plus our 3, and we get 5. So then it's 1, comma 5. All right, and then 3 times 2 gives us 6, plus 3 gives us 9. So we end up with 3, comma 9. So make sure, if you need to go back and check your math, do so, but make sure you understand what your rule is asking. So 2 times and then 3 more. So 2 times your x and then you add 3. So make sure you're reading your rule very carefully. Be very easy to make mistakes with that. All right, so now we're going to plot these numbers. So we're going to start with our x coordinate, which is here, 0, and then our y is 3. So we're going to plot here. And then we have 1, comma 5. So we're going to be here, 3, comma 9. Now what you'll notice is if we were to take a straight edge and draw a line straight through each of these points, they would fall on the same exact line because they all follow the same rule. All right, so now our rule is y is 3 less than 3 times as much as x. So here, okay, we've got y is 3 less than 3 times as much as x. So if we were to multiply 3 times 1 here, it'd be 3. Minus 3 gives us our x, or our y, which is 0. Okay, so we've got 1. I'm going to scroll down just a little bit if I can find my cursor. Here we go. Scroll down here. We've got 1, comma 0. So we don't go up along our y-axis at all because our y coordinate is 0 here. All right, and then our second one is 2, 3. So I come over 2 on my x, go up 3, and plot my point. Last one is 4, 9. So here's my 4. I've come over x on my x by 4, 9. There we go. Now, again, you'll notice that because all of these points follow the same pattern, okay, they fall on the same line. So our question is, name a point that falls on this line with a y coordinate greater than 10. So it says y is 3 less than 3 times as much as x. So we could say that x is 3. Okay, and then 3 times 3, that's not going to work. Let's do 5. Okay, so then 5 times 3 gives us 15, minus 3 gives us 12. So 15 minus 3 gives us 12, and that would fall on that same line because it follows the same pattern. Now, it's not going to fall on this coordinate plane simply because we stop our plane at 10. However, that doesn't mean that the plane ends completely. You could keep going in this direction and in this direction as far out as you needed to or wanted to. So you have to be able to kind of understand that when these types of questions come up, they're not just asking you to put something on this thing here, this coordinate plane. They want you to think outside of this coordinate plane to a bigger field. All right. Remember, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out, message me either on Dojo, email, on my phone. I'm happy to help answer any questions. We'll most likely go over lesson 10 on Thursday. I'm skipping a lesson in between because a lot of times these skills build on each other. So if you understand one, then you kind of understand the next one that comes directly after it. And then a new skill isn't usually implemented until a lesson or two beyond that. So I'll most likely go over lesson 10. If you aren't quite to lesson 8 or lesson 10 yet, please feel free to reach out with any questions you have about the lessons you are on. I hope you guys do well. I want to keep seeing some awesome work out of you this week. Have a great week.